and a couple $100, and all of them can be installed by a half-drunk amateur mechanic. Why? Because a lot of us are crappier with renters than we care to admit. Also, we're not that motivated to hit the garage unless there's beer involved. And you really have the money for suspension rehauls and coolers and spoked wheels anyway. And at that point, just buy a different motorcycle. So, simple off-road mod number one, knobby tires. I've made entire videos on the subject linked down below. And long story short, the bumpier the tire, the better it is on dirt. The smoother the tire, the better it is on pavement. Of course, there are loads of subtleties that I'm not going to repeat here, but I'm happy to repeat them down there. A dirt tire is the single best thing you can do for making your bike handle off-road. You give me a golden one knobby, and I'll take it. But with great power comes great liability. And a knobby tire might get you to that epic rock garden or mud bog, but what happens when you drop the bike? Nothing, as long as you have engine bars. At least protect your casing, your fairing, your tank. In a perfect world, the engine bar will hit the ground before anything else. Dropping your bike on its side is the most common incident, by the way, as these scratches can attest. For what it's worth, my engine bars came from Suzuki, but I kinda wish they had it. And they're far too low to adequately protect my fairing, and the things weigh like they're cast in iron. And better options come from Hughes and SW Motec. Next is a skid plate, a protective feature that will see the second most amount of action after your engine bar. See? This is what the bottom of my engine casing would look like if it weren't for this skid plate. Now I'm pretty sure that my V-Strom has 2 millimeters of ground clearance. And if you're planning to take a road-oriented bike off-road, you'll end up feeling the same way. So be prepared to get hung up on things very often. Which is more fun than it looks, actually, so long as you're not grinding over your engine every time you grind to a halt. My skid plate also takes a few shots from the front tire, which hurls pebbles backwards at a speed proportional to my right wrist. Was it more danger from that, however, is the radiator. And one sharp rock gets chucked through here, and this bike is overheating faster than the Canadian in 2 ways. That's why I've installed a steel radiator guard to replace Suzuki's dinky plastic one. This comes from Raytech, by the way, same as my skid plate. Raytech makes accessories for a few Suzuki's, Yamahas, Kawasaki's, and Ducatis, and their stuff comes from Thailand, and shipping runs on the geological timescale. But it's worth the wait. And it's great quality, great customer service, super low prices, and fitment is dead on and dead easy to install. The only downside I notice is that the hardware, the screws, and the bolts are all a little bit soft. Mod number 5, and our last protective mod, is a pair of screwdrivers. Your bike might already have something that looks like this, but does it have this piece? Because you'll need a decent bar if you're planning to go jousting with the forest. Of course, bashing through the trees knuckles first is sexy, and being honest with ourselves, not that common. And more likely these are going to save you from snapping a clutch or brake lever when you drop your bike in the middle of the I should mention that there is a dark side to these things. And everybody has a friend of a friend who saw a buddy go over the handlebars only to get his arm caught between bar and bar crosser, and before coming out the other side with 2 broken wrists. Personally, I think that's a fluky crash, and I've never ever seen it happen. And meanwhile, my handguards have saved my own fingers and my own levers more times than I can count. Wrist breakers or not, I'm keeping it. Halftime. 5 mods down, 5 to go. And now we're transitioning away from that boring protection stuff into some cool little tricks that will turn you into a dirt dog. Like foot pegs. Aftermarket pegs are invariably wider than the ones you got from the factory, providing more stable surface for standing up. The other thing is this removable insert. I still have soft rubber for killing the highway vibrations, but I can also have a serrated metal claw for riding off-road. Quad metal won't get slippery in the mud, nor will it take up in the dirt. And when you're controlling your bike by pushing your weight around your foot pegs in that standing position, it's a huge benefit. And huge rhymes with huge, who is the maker of this adventure foot peg. 150 per set, bike-specific adapter sold separately. Now tell me that wasn't a seamless product transition. And speaking of seamless transitions, if you're going to be standing up on your nice new foot pegs, then you should also look at some bar risers. Odds are your handlebars are a little bit low for the standing riding position. Almost every OEM setup is. So when you ride like this for a while, you're going to get shoulder, neck, and back pain from having to hunch over to reach your grips. Bar risers will lift your handlebars comfortably within reach. And they're a pretty cheap fix, too. I mean, there's no complex installation, no need to change your handlebar, usually no need to extend your cables either. Just put this bit where the bar used to be, and move your handlebar up into here, and that's the job done. It's the motorcycle equivalent of sitting on a phone book. Now, some of the more deep-pocketed adventure riders will tell you to install a high-rise handlebar rather than simply using risers, since that also lets you move into aluminum and away from the factory steel on your bike. See, aluminum has a nifty elastic quality. For a given hit that might bend a steel bar, an aluminum one can spring back into shape. Anyway, upgrading your bars is good advice so long as you can afford it. Otherwise, I would just go with bar risers and only replace your handlebars if or when you bend them beyond repair. Number 8, and our last mod that costs any money, is the SW Motec side stand flip. Over 60 bucks for this little thing, and that is officially grand theft in most US states. But at least it does prevent your side stand from sinking when you park on soft terrain. Simple premise: remove 3 screws, sandwich your existing side stand foot, and you've got more surface area and more staying power. Anyone who's seen my life hacks video will know that an old hotel keycard wedged underneath your side stand works just as well. But it is annoying to dig for your wallet every time you have to take a trail side break. Now, let's wrap this video up with a couple freebie mods. For number 9, adjust your clutch and brake lever. You'll typically want these angled a little bit lower down for off-roading. That makes it easier to cover the levers while standing, since they'll complement the steeper angle of your arms. You also want to set a slightly shorter reach for off-roading. That makes it easier to precisely control the lever with just 1 or 2 fingers. On bumpy terrain, you'll want the rest of your digits, keeping their grip on your grips. And finally, mod 10 of 10 is a suspension adjustment. Here's the preload knob on my rear shock. Now how I adjust this mainly depends on whether or not I'm carrying a tent and how many donuts I ate for breakfast. Clockwise increases preload for fatter Ryan, and counterclockwise decreases preload for skinnier Ryan. Now this is the damping screw, which is more directly relevant to off-roading. Bumpier surfaces like softer damping, while concrete surfaces prefer harder damping. However, damping does need to be tempered by the preload adjustment that I already made, because if I've jacked up my preload to account for the time I spent it.
Well done.
Original Kiwi Derby, made for mates.
Hello, I'm Ryan F9 and I've just ducked into Ontario to ride the Long
Last
Street
round.
Parkway. Now obviously, the province is pretty darn proud of this road, so I'm excited to find out why. Now obviously, this is a very peaceful place. It's what it's known for. And rather ironically, I decided to vlog about really loud, annoying loud pipes. Maybe it doesn't fit the surrounding, but it's an issue that's on my heart. Motorcyclists love to divide and argue over this issue, and I don't know, does it matter if loud pipes save lives or not? Alright. Motorcyclist friend. That's what we're in for, by the way. It's sort of a long road that goes between a bunch of islands like that. Hello. Alright. See, 55, that is very serious. They patrol this area like nothing else, so you actually can't go that fast around here. But I have a feeling that I'm not going to really care that much. Hey, birdie. Oh, look at that. Shimmering blue water. So yeah, there's all these islands over here, and the roads kind of connect all of them, so
Halfway there.
that's what we're in for. That is what we're in for. Neil Rock. That'd probably be a nice place to camp. Okay, so we're going on to the second island here. Sweet. Here we go. Oh, this is absolutely gorgeous. I think I already know why they built the sign so damn big. This is a hell of a nice place. And the water is like a really, not so much on this side, but really on this side, it's like a really sort of aquary, it's got a really greeny tinge, you know? It's like when you go to Jamaica or something. Of course, this is just Ontario, and it's just as pretty. That's amazing. I love that. So, do loud pipes save lives? Does it matter if loud pipes save lives? I don't know. I mean, it's not a good space for motorcyclists. If you're unfamiliar with the issue, type LBSL into Google and kiss your afternoon goodbye. There's a billion articles on the subject, there's a billion hateful comments. I mean, every year the debate rages, right? Someone will drag up the Hurt Report, someone will bring a shovel, a sharpened pitchfork, someone will come armed with amateur science. We'll all meet at the battleground, we'll dig up the dead horse, and then we'll kick the shit out of it. I mean, that's exactly what we do year after year after year after year. And it kind of sucks. You know,
10 seconds.
Motorcyclists have enough stereotypes to deal with. We don't have to go adding more with the whole outfit type lives this week. And that's my argument today. It's a happy one. I know it's kind of a serious topic for such a beautiful surrounding, but it's a happy argument. And my argument